What's going on, YouTube world and YouTube tribe? Welcome back to LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you a review for Supergirl, episode 18, season 6. Man, we're getting close to the end of Supergirl. Can't believe it. Called Truth or Consequences. Yeah, it's about the end of the road for Supergirl. They had that little the DC fandom. They had that little farewell thing for 6 seasons. And the thing, we almost didn't get here because they was ready to cancel Supergirl after season 1 until the CW picked it up, of course. But we're not here for that. We're here for this episode. So the synopsis for this episode is: Supergirl is determined to keep everyone safe from Lex and Nixley, so she doubles down on patrol. Alex is torn between duty and finally allowing herself time to enjoy her new family. Brainy receives heartbreaking news. So, a lot happens in this episode. Like, yes, throughout the episode, Alex is basically determined. She's torn between. I said determined. She's torn between. She really is torn. Like, there's a party tonight, like a bachelorette party. And she wants to go to the bachelorette party. She wants to do all this other fun stuff, but she doesn't know whether or not she should be out there on patrol with Supergirl or get ready for the bachelorette party. It all comes into play in this episode, but Nixley and Lex are basically on a hunt for the truth totem, and that's what the central thing is. And with this episode is that it's about the truth totem and the revelation of the love totem. So two important things in this episode to remember. Like I said, the truth totem, hence the name of the title, Truth and Consequences. But the consequences part of this episode is what we didn't know, what they didn't know they walked into from the get-go once Lex, came back into the picture. So basically, the Brainy receives some bad news. He's been told that he has to go back to the future, right? He got to go back to the future because the big brain, which I don't fully understand what that is, but it seemed like some type of computer. But the big brain is basically he's basically, I say he, Brainy basically been told that the big brain has to be saved. It suffers some type of damage, and that the only way for it to be fixed is if Brainy comes back to the future, and he has to be basically bonded with it. Like, he gotta kind of just bond with the brain. But I guess when he combines with it, he will cease to exist. And it was like he was talking to like one of his other selves that's inside him, and he was saying we would still exist, but we exist in another form. And he was, he said he doesn't want to go because he got a life and a family here that he care about in the present. He's in love. It's like so many things he's now experienced that he glad he got to experience about his emotional inhibitors, and now it's all gonna be taken away from him because he has to go back. It's like there's no way he can't go back because any other variables they run, it doesn't really compute. It really doesn't help them save the big brain. So Brainy, throughout the episode, he's basically contemplating on whether he should tell anybody, whether he should just wait until the situation with Nixley is over with. Nixley and Lex are having, for the meantime, are having trouble finding the totem until the ball works, and Nixley finds out the location of the truth totem, and it's like in some type of warehouse with a whole bunch of collectible antique items. And Nixley, she even asked Les, like, why would somebody collect items like these and not for where and put them where no one can see them. And Lex, the way how Lex explained it, it's not about flaunting what you got. It's about having it and knowing nobody else has it. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like that, but that was an excellent line. I love that line. How he just basically said, it's because the God doesn't want. He does it so he can have that notion, that knowing that he has something that everybody wants to see, but they can't see it because he brought it and kept it as a private collection. They find this camera, which is basically the truth totem in disguise, and I guess the camera symbolizes the camera's being a symbolization. When you take a picture, nothing's more truer than the picture that you take. So she's put through the gauntlet where, in this gauntlet, it asks her to basically tell the truth. In a way, tell the truth that she has yet to even admit to herself, and she goes through all these truths, and nothing happens, right? And she realized that this gauntlet is that you don't go, you can't leave like this. It teleports you like to this realm, and you can't leave that realm until you admit the truth. That's how you pass the gauntlet. You have to leave the realm. You have to admit a truth that you haven't never even thought of or admitted yet. And it's the truth. It's a truth that the camera is that the totem. For the gauntlet, it knows the truth that she needs to admit, but it wants her to realize what that truth is, and she realizes that the truth that she realizes that she doesn't want to be alone. She says she doesn't want to be alone. She, after saying all these other truths and nothing worse, she realized the truth that she really haven't never really considered or admitted to herself was that even though she wanted to do everything herself, she realized the truth. She said that I don't want to be alone anymore. I'm tired of being alone and not having somebody by my side. And, he said, you did admirably. He said that was the truth that they was looking for, and get her possession of the truth totem. And with the power of the truth totem, she could basically like force anyone that she infused the power. Like, it's unlike the other totems, like it's like the power could like come from the totem, and she could put it inside your body, and it makes you tell her the truth. It's like you can't. It's like one of those scenarios where once you hit with it, you can't lie. No matter how hard you try, the truth got to come out because she commands it with the truth totem. And she uses it on Lex at one point to get the truth out of him about whether or not if he's going to betray her or if he really does care about her. And Lex, thanks to the truth told the truth that he really is, like, for the first time, he doesn't have a nefarious motive. He doesn't want, he's not trying to portray the person he's working with or nothing. For the first time, he really is just here because he's in love with Nixley, and he will do anything to help her achieve her goals and be by her side, because he admitted that for the longest he never thought he'll find anybody to match his intellect, so he just walked along thinking how could he be in love with somebody that couldn't match his intellect, his cunning, and all that type of stuff, until he met Nixley, and he realized he was in love because she could match him. And he tells her all this, and she's satisfied. She's satisfied with the answer because she realized that is the truth, that he really do care about her. Kara, and on the other front, though, we had talked about so many other people. Kara actually it does double down patrol. She wants to find. She's like basically on overdrive mode now because she wants to find out. She wants to find Nixley. She wants to find Nixley. Sorry about that. Somebody was texting me. She wants to find Nixley and Lex because she wants to protect everybody. She really does. So this this comes into play with William, because William is also helping them. And what Andrea did, I want to point that out in this video. What Andrea did, that's another part of consequence, because this leads into a scene with Andrea where she's asking like Lena, to be truthful with her about what she did, stealing Lex journals and using William, saying Williams, the publisher of this article about Lex, about his journals, about him being in love with Nixley and all that. Did she think she a monster? And she said, no, you're not a monster, but you can be sometimes, like, basically pig-headed and only see forward. Like, you don't, sometimes you see only your goal and damn the consequences of how you get there. And if you don't want to be that person, then change it. Supergirl does get into it with Alex. She gets into it with Alex because Alex her about Asme, because Asme was having trouble with school, and she just got angry. Her powers got a little bit out of control, and they had to bring her home and clean her up. They went to go run some tests on her in the lab just to make sure that everything was cool, and they wanted to do some blood work. But Alex and Carl were getting into an argument about not an argument, but it was like a heated debate about how they should go about, how Alex should go about parenting, or parenting, or going about the situation with Asme's powers. And she was suggested to do like what their mother did for her, and this is but this clashes with Alex's ideals for Asme, because she points out to Carl even though it might have felt like Mom was helping you, she kind of suppressed your abilities and made you hide. It was just a way for you to hide, because you couldn't be, and immediately she understands why, because it was dangerous for her at that time when she first came to Earth. It was dangerous for an alien to be on Earth. But she said, but in that point in time, it was the best thing was to help you control your powers, or help to give you something to dampen them a little bit, just so you won't go, so you can't lose control of them and expose yourself. But she said, I don't want that for Asme. I don't, you gotta remember, I don't want her. I've been there by your side the whole time, because she was like, she said, you don't know how hard, it could be hard and scary for somebody, to have powers and not be able to control it. And she said, and she's like, I know, because I was there by your side the whole time, and I watched you and how hard it was. But that's the point. I don't want that for Asme, because now if she doesn't have to hide, she want her to be who she is, powers and all. But the ideals clash, and Alex, what? Obviously, we gotta set some ground rules. She said, Asme is my daughter, and so let me raise my daughter the way I want to raise her. And if I want parenting advice, I would ask for it. She said, if I don't ask for it, don't give it to me. And so this puts like this was where the double down of patrol comes in. This is another reason why she doubled down, because she wanted to avoid the Watch Tower, because she was avoiding Alex. But John convinces her to make up with Alex before the party, and they eventually do. William comes into the play, leading into the final piece of the episode. William comes into play because he was baking some cookies. He's trying to help the Super Friends on finding Nixley, and I think they actually get into a fight. It is a fight scene where they discover with Nixley, and it was in outer space. They end up blowing up the ship, but they got the Hope totem. I think the Hope totem, the totem that Supergirl thought she destroyed. They ended up getting that back. Nixley, I thought that I threw myself off, but yeah, I forgot about that part in part of the episode. But this leads into that. They realized when Lex confessed his love, it activated the crystal to find the love totem. And the love totem showed them where the love totem is. Now, and as we all know, that's Asme. So they Alex didn't know she wanted to cancel the party because she didn't know what was going on with Esme. The blood work still haven't came back, but they convinced her to go have the bachelorette party anyway. That they don't have to cancel. Someone did come up with a babysitter, but Will offered to babysit, and they wanted William at the party, but he said, "You know what? Call it a wedding gift. The least I could do." So he babysits Esme. Though it all goes wrong with Lex and Lena, so looking for Esme because they know she's a love tunnel, and some very good. This is a very good scene where some stuff goes down and don't end well. It doesn't end well because one character, I won't say who it was, but one character does end up losing their life, and we end up seeing a character for a character that's been in a couple of seasons now being taken down. So with that being said, it was a great way to end the episode. And the Super Friends does end up finding out, I think Nina, she ended up finding out Brain's secret, and they end up finding out at the end what happened, but they get there too late to save this person. But this episode was a good episode. I would give this episode, I actually want to give it a 10 big ups, but I'm gonna still give it a 9.5 because this was a good episode. Perfect blend of storytelling and suspense, and with a little bit of dread and sadness in the mix. But it's all coming to a head. I think the next episode is the series finale, I think. But if you enjoyed this video, then hit that button right there in the upper right corner for all of my reviews. And if you enjoyed this video so much you want to support the channel, then hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, become part of the fam, the tribe, become part of the tribe, and hit that notification button, turn notifications all the way on so you get notified when I drop videos. Because I got more for you. I got some more reviews. I got that Stargirl season finale review, some gameplay, and that wrestling review coming up, so stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Peace.